Hey friends, how you doing? Well, it's another day, and I told Jeff, you folks that watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about already. Yesterday, I went to Homer's, and because they called me, someone had brought in some imports, and they bought a bunch of stuff, and I bought some cool used stuff, and I went back today and bought some more. But I did the right thing. I called and told Jeff. You know, Jeff Recordman 1958 lives here in Omaha as well. And so it's only fair to let him know, you know what I'm saying? So I called him and I told him, listen, A, B, C, D, he's down there, man. And like many of us, he is on a limited income, even though he works. He's a nurse, but the timing just sucks. So I called him last night, then I called him again today. And at first he was going to go, and then he called me back and left me a message saying, I'm overwhelmed. I really don't have the money, and if I go, I'm gonna freak out because I'm not gonna have the money. So you go ahead. So I did, and I need the 30-day vinyl challenge. I needed it anyway. Not that I'm gonna take it, but it's like, I went and bought some more, and just hopefully nothing catastrophic happens because I'm broke, but I'm happy. So I'll show you what I went ahead and picked up today, and mainly what you'll see are Jane albums. And I want to qualify this. I've known about the band Jane since the 70s. And when it came to krautrock, they always seemed like a second string to me. Like, for example, I was talking to 24DB, drew some messages about this stuff. And like Guru, I really like them, but they're really primitive, actually. And it's really, the records, some of them are pretty sloppy, but they're just drenched in LSD to me. And there's a nostalgic appeal for me. But what I want to say about Jane is, it sounds better to me now than it did at the time. I hear what it was when I was younger that I didn't like or thought was, oh, this isn't as good as those other bands. And in retrospect, it sounds better to me now. So I went ahead and went back and got all the Jane albums they had, because it's one of those German bands that I'd always kind of like, put my nose up at, and the one that I bought last night, I listened to it all the way through and really enjoyed it. And then again, the community helped me by Stefan73 from Holland left a message about how he loves Jane in a particular song. And I said, okay, so I need to listen to this band again. So I went down and I picked up the rest of Jane, and this is what I got. Jane, Between Heaven and Hell. Once again, on the fabulous brain. The majority of these brains are green. There's a couple that are on the Lou Reed. I call it the Lou Reed label because it looks like Lou Reed Metal Machine Music. That's what the label looks like to me. It looks like its head. I just love their fold-outs, their gatefolds. I just love the aesthetic. So Jane, Between Heaven and Hell. Got Lady by Jane. I just did a cursory listen to a couple of these on my lunch break, because that's what I did. I didn't even wait till after work. I went on my lunch break. And I'm glad I bought these. I was mistaken about Jane. There are some pretty spacey, proggy parts to what this band does. So I picked up Lady. I remember this one because it was released in America. Jane 3. And it's also, I've been thinking about this ever since last night. It's like there's something appropriate about this. The last real girlfriend I had, and the woman that I'm probably still in love with, although I can't live with her and she's moved on, is a woman named Jane. She's down in the Southwest now, so I've been thinking about Jane a lot to do today as well, because of just thinking about the band Jane. Always loved this cover too, though. And there they are. Look at the band looking cool on the inside. We talk about coolness, and I've heard how some other vinyl community members have talked about how cool black guys can look and stuff. And it works always. Don't these guys look cool? These white guys look pretty cool to me too. which is something else I really relate to. I relate to the coolness of black. I relate to the coolness of white and yellow and brown and red too. You know, you look beyond the surface, we really are brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm just real serious about that. You may look at me and look at a picture of, say, someone like John Coltrane, and you can see, you know, that we're related. But if you look deeper and say, take a picture of me and then put it next to a picture of, say, Morrissey, we're brothers too. For real. Okay, Jane. What's the name of this one? Age of Madness. This is a later one. This is the one on the brain label with Lou Reed. Once again, the wonderful gatefolds. I love the graphics. I love the use of the gatefold in European pressings in general. This is the one that Stefan73 had mentioned. I'm so glad that it happened to be there. Jane's Here We Are. And I played that song in particular because you had said you really like Redskin. And it's a cool song. I'll have to listen to it again, but that sold me. I said, oh, okay, let me go back and get this, Jane, because that one that I bought last night was pretty good. It was. So here we are. Apparently, this is their second album. Once again, there's that cool gatefold. Love the use of it. Just right quick, I'll go ahead and show one of these because, like I said, most of all these are on the fantastic brain label. They're in mint condition. They just need to be cleaned, but they're barely played. I can see that some of these have been played, but barely. I'll keep going. Jane Live at Home, a double album, double LP. And I asked him to do me I said, come on, guys, you know, cut me a break here. They always give me 10% off, but I said, come on, you know, I'm spending some money here. So they gave me one of the Jane albums for free. And I really appreciated it. I really did. So this is a double. And let me just let me see, is this? Okay, this is the Lou Reed version. Haven't played any of this yet. Jane, sign number 9. I had never seen this Jane album before. Once again, I just love those graphics. Love that color. On the brain label again. Let's see what the gatefold is like. Okay, there it is. Okay, I think I got one more Jane album. I got Fire, Water, Earth and Air by Jane. So I don't know how many albums they have in all, but I now have 9 Jane albums. And these weren't cheap, but I'm always looking for stuff like this. And that's what I thought last night as I tried to go to sleep. I'm always looking for stuff like this. I better go ahead and just get it while I can get it, okay? I also bought this. I didn't really want it at first, and I said, go ahead and get it because I knew what this is. This is Mythos. This is the latter version of Mythos. This is a picture disc of their album Concrete City. And this does not compare to the Mythos album that many of you folks bought upon my recommendation. This is okay. This is more heavy rock. I only listened to a little bit of it, so there may be some standout tracks. It can't be completely bad coming from the background that he do. But I understand there's only one original member left of the band Mythos, but I went ahead and grabbed this today, okay? A Mythos picture disc? Yeah, I gotta get that. And I also bought, now this one was really neat because this is, well, it's just nostalgic for me, but Focus. In and Out of Focus. And I love how when you look at the cover up close in the store, you don't see in the dots that it says Focus, but see how well you can see that here on the screen? When you look at it in the store, you don't see that at first, which is actually very cool about this graphic. It's like the music. It's like there's more than meets the eye at first to Focus. They're a very good band. Here's the inner, and it's on Polydor. This is either a UK or a German pressing. You know, I have the US pressing, which has a much crappier cover, so I was real happy to get this to replace my in and out of focus with. I got two more. Never owned a Satin Whale album. I have them digitally, but I got this one. Whale Come. What a name. What a title. Whale Come. Welcome to Satin Whale. It's a double LP. Haven't spun this yet. Can't tell you anything about the sound. I have Satin Whale digitally. They're not... It's like there's a little bit of progginess, but it's more like that big German rock sound is what I remember. I'm looking forward to spinning that. The last thing I went and picked up today was Eloy's Power and the Passion. And this is on German Harvest. You know, I love that label. German Harvest. So, like I said, I gave Jeff a fair shot at these babies, and he said, "Oh, that's more your game. You go ahead." Didn't have to tell me that twice.